Hello and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we are looking at the reveal of the main villain for Dragon Ball Super, Super Hero. So as the date approaches for Dragon Ball Super, Super Hero, we are getting more and more announcements, more and more leaks. Basically, we're just learning more and more about this movie. And, well, we've had the biggest reveal we could possibly get, and that is with the main villain of this film. And if somehow you've managed to avoid this so far, and you don't want to know until you watch the movie, then I'm sorry, this will be a spoiler-filled video, so maybe this isn't the one for you to watch right now. So, I will give you these couple of seconds to click off before I go on to it. So now anyone is gone who doesn't want to hear it, let's talk about Cell. Cell is the character to be coming back to be the main villain of this movie. Now, this has been rumoured for quite a long time, I have mentioned it before, but it appears now that this has basically been confirmed it is the case. And of this, we are not necessarily getting first form, second form, or perfect Cell back, we're getting a new form, which is going to be called Cell Max. Now, this form is said to be looking more like the look of semi-perfect Cell as opposed to perfect Cell, and this could well be because Toriyama did say that that was his favourite version, but we don't really know. All that we know is that it appears that Cell will be closer to that look than anything else, but apart from that is that he could also be massive. Basically a giant. Again, whether that is going to be a permanent look for him or maybe just a transformation type thing that we haven't seen in a while, like the likes of Piccolo did back in the day, we don't really know. Kind of hoping so. I'm not a big fan of just big giant villains for no good reason. I prefer them being similar size to the heroes that they're fighting. That might just be me though. But anyway, what that does mean for all of this is that we are getting that Gohan versus Cell rematch. And like I kind of said before again, it's like we've been hinted at. Gohan is being shown back in the clothes he wore during the Cell saga, back in those clothes that Piccolo gave him. This really did always hint it was Gohan versus Cell, take 2. It will be brilliant to see that happen again. That is one of my favourite fights in all of Dragon Ball Z, and okay, maybe it's going to be a bit rushed this time because it's a movie, maybe not, could be done really well. I'm just hoping that it is as epic as they can make it. But one question that will come up about this is, where has this Cell come from? Why does he exist? And, well, obviously we don't know for sure yet, but one idea that I've seen that could well be true is that this could potentially be the Cell from the current timeline of Dragon Ball. Now, obviously back in Dragon Ball Z, we think we see Krillin and Trunks go and kill what would be the present day Cell, before he can steal any time machines, go back and try and absorb the androids. But maybe this didn't happen. Maybe Krillin and Trunks just thought that they killed that Cell, and there was actually some backup to show that they didn't. This means that this Cell would now be at about the right time to start waking up and truly be stronger. But you may also question here, well, Cell was only as strong as Cell Saga hero, so how could he possibly be strong enough to fight anyone now? Remember though, the androids 17 and 18 from future Trunks' timeline were a lot weaker than those from our current timeline. So in turn that could well mean that Cell was stronger too. Look at Android 17, he basically kept up with the power of Goku with all his training after just living on an island. There's no reason to think that Cell, who was supposed to be stronger than him, could be a level or two above as well. And really he's going to have to be that kind of power to really make any kind of challenge to the Z Fighters, especially if it involves unlocking Gohan's true potential, which may push him up towards the levels of Goku and Vegeta again. But something else we can look at for the plot as well is kind of what happens with Pan and why Gohan gets involved. Now, I've seen most people say how it is the Red Ribbon Army kidnapped Pan so they can get to Gohan because he is the one who killed Cell and basically defeated the Red Ribbon Army before. But there is something that people seem to be forgetting a little bit. Hercule was the one who claimed to have defeated Cell. Hercule is the one that the world thinks defeated Cell. It's only the Z Fighters and Hercule himself that really know it was Gohan that did this instead. So, perhaps in fact, they kidnapped Pan to get at Hercule, not Gohan. It actually just happens to be that Pan is Hercule's granddaughter, but as well is Gohan's daughter, and that is why Gohan comes back and could basically reveal, not that it'll matter too much, that he was in fact the one who defeated Cell the first time. Maybe this Cell will have some kind of weird psychic memory of that happening, some weird connection with Gohan that makes them being the ones that need to fight. I don't really know. But I do think it could be quite interesting if it is the Red Ribbon Army thinking Hercule is the one that needs to be killed rather than Gohan. Although that may just be going in the complete wrong direction. But what else does this mean we know about the movie? Well, there was the other rumour that we were going to get Android 21 as the main villain, or maybe Android 21 was a code for Cell. But this is not the case. It is basically obviously now being confirmed that Android 21 will not be in this movie, but there have also been hints that we may see the human that gets turned into Android 21 during this film as well. Maybe hinting at future movies or a future series based on this idea too. Now, again, don't really know if any of that is really true, or whether these are just rumours and maybe more hopeful rumours than anything with any real backing. We will just have to wait and see. So what does this really say now with the movie getting closer and closer? Hearing about Cell Max and how he's this big giant thing kind of makes me feel like this is a bit like the Bio Broly movie. And to be honest, that's not one of the highest movies I like to watch on the Dragon Ball Z list. I really hope it is better than that. I hope they do something different with it. And that is one thing that is obvious about this movie, is they are trying to do something new, something different, not just repeat the same formula that they always do. I mean, we could watch it and it could still end up being very similar, but it feels like they are trying to take a slightly different approach to give us something that we haven't gotten before, which I'm always a fan of seeing. Okay, it might not work, we might look back and go, okay, that was a mistake, but if you don't try it, you're never really gonna know. The only thing that I am kind of less than enthused about, something that I am really on the fence about though, is Cell in general. I mean, with Dragon Ball Super, first Frieza came back, then Broly came back, and now Cell's coming back. What happened to trying to bring in new characters? The Dragon Ball Z movies introduced some great characters. We had the likes of Tapion or Janemba, or even someone like Bojack. These are all characters that worked really well for their movies. So bringing back another main Dragon Ball Z villain, I kind of wish they'd do something different. Like with Broly, I was more a fan of them bringing back a movie character, bringing him into the Dragon Ball Super world. Like, they could have brought back, like I said, someone like Bojack, or maybe even someone like Cooler. These things could have been really interesting to see. But no, we're getting Cell again. I do like Cell as a villain, so it might be fine, but like I said, want to be clear, I'm still a little on the fence about it. But really, that's all I've got for you today. I don't want to ramble on too much about this. Now that Cell has been revealed, it'll be interesting to see if we get any glimpse of him before the actual release, maybe in a final little teaser, whether he will be kept completely secret until the very end of all things. But really with that, I'd like to know from all of you now, what do you think about Cell basically being confirmed as the villain of the new movie? Do you think it's great they're revisiting this character? Do you think it sucks that they're not bringing in someone new? Or are you a bit more like me and maybe just still on the fence and wanting to really just see this movie to see how it's done to judge after that time? Really just let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. So thank you for reaching the very end of this video with me today. I hope you are all doing amazing and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.